La Jolla, California. I'll be at the La Jolla Comedy Store August 5th through the 7th. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'll be there August 18th through the 20th. Austin, Texas. I will be there September 2nd through the 3rd. Get your tickets for those shows and all shows on my website at RyanSickler.com.
The HoneyDew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the HoneyDew, y'all. We're over here doing it in the Night Pants Studios. I'm Ryan Sickler, RyanSickler.com, Ryan Sickler on all your social medias. And I want to thank you for all your support, man. This show has really become something I never even knew it could, and I can't thank you enough. So if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and leave a comment out there, y'all. It really helps out the show. And if you got to have more, check out the Patreon. It's called The HoneyDew with Y'all, and I'm highlighting the lowlights with y'all, and y'all got some of the wildest, most fucked up stories I've ever heard in my fucking life. And you can hear them too for $5 a month. If you sign up for a year, you get over a month free. You're getting a HoneyDew a day early ad-free at no additional costs. And if you or someone you know has that story has to be heard, please submit it to honeydewpodcast@gmail.com. Hopefully we can do an episode together, all right? The Night Pants Nation tour continues to roll on. Thank you for your support in that as well. I will be in La Jolla August 5th through the 7th. I'll be in Philadelphia August 18th through the 20th, and I will be in Austin, Texas, Labor Day weekend, y'all, September 2nd and the 3rd. Now, that's the business. You guys know what we do over here. We're highlighting the lowlights. I always say these are the stories behind the storytellers, and I am very excited to have this guest back on the HoneyDew. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the main mommy, Christina P, y'all. Welcome back to the HoneyDew.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, you...
Extra long. Yeah. Hold on. Do you know what I always sing in my head now?
What is that?
It's one of those things that gets stuck in rent spaces when you said to me, your mom's a borderline, right? And I went, borderline. And then you jumped right in. I was like, this is why this is my girl right here.
Meow, 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 meow.
And knew the lyrics,
meow, meow, meow.
went all the way with it. Yep.
Yeah, well, we've known each other for what, like 20 years. We grew up together, essentially. And I was just saying before we started rolling, I mean, how much sillier do you think you've allowed yourself to get as an adult? Like, yes, the responsibilities are overwhelming, but I feel like I'm also like so silly now.
All right, I have the perfect answer because it happened on the way here. Before I answer that, plug your dates and stuff, please. Plug it, girl.
Okay, I'm plugging myself. Washington, D.C. at the D.C. Improv, July 15th and 16th. And then I do Cobb's, July 29th and 30th. Seattle is already sold out. And then Cleveland, Ohio, in August. Many apple tits in August as well. Brooklyn, one night only, September 7th. Detroit, Chicago, Nashville, New York. It goes on and on. ChristinaPOnline.com for tickets. Thank you. The Christina P on Instagram.
So on the ride here,
yes,
I have my daughter, bring my daughter to work. That she doesn't have her camp this week, so I'm bringing her here with the dog.
Oh,
and I have a banana for her in the car, and I go, here. She's like, will you unpeel this? I go, no, peel the damn banana. And then she squeezes it and it opens up. I go, there you go. You just started it. Now peel it. She's like, I can't get it. I'm like, are you seriously weaker than a banana? And then I just rolled all the windows down and just started screaming to strangers like, is your child weaker than a banana? My daughter's weaker than a banana. And she was like, Dad. She's knocking down. Dad. I'm like, can't even open a banana back here. And I'm dying laughing. I'm like, does mom do that? She goes, no.
No.
Do any parents do that? No. And she dies laughing. And she's like, don't do that. And I'm like, you'll miss it. I go, one day you'll miss it. I said, I'll never forget your grandfather said to me the same shit. One day I'm not going to be here and you're going to miss it and you're going to do it to your kids. And she's like, no, I won't. And I go, that's what I said too. My dad used to do shit too. Like, I'll never forget. Matter of fact, it's crazy. We went to this concert, Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. Yep, my father. I know. I told my friend Shannon, this was 87. It was the Together Forever tour at the Capitol Center, home of Heavy Metal Parking Lot. And it was Beastie Boys first, Run DMC second. And I just remember my friend Shannon, my dad took us and his dad came as well. And I was like, you know what? He's got a daughter too. I'm like, we just gotta remember to be that cool sometime. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even know what the fuck rap was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they took us. And the whole time we're there, I'm 14. There's this row of like just 18, 19-year-old college girls right here. And my dad's just going, hey, girls, this is my son, Ryan. I'm like, shut the fuck. Dad! He's like, it's Ryan right here. This is my son, Ryan. Any of you guys think he's cute? And they're dying laughing. I'm like, Dad! Shut up, Dad! Try to enjoy this concert, you dick.
Did you score with them? Did you talk
Hell
to them?
no.
Yeah, but
No,
you're too
I was
young.
just put my hood up, humiliated, like trying to enjoy this.
But that's the fun stuff because, like, my dad too had a really silly sense of humor. He would buy those funny glasses with like the Groucho Marx stuff or like swirlies, and he always had nice cars. So he would get he had a Jaguar. So people would normally look at the car because it was like a special one, and then he'd be like, "Put the glasses on."
Oh yeah.
So like people would look at us and see, and that kind of stuff was fun. Or like a noisemaker that made the sound of a cow, like "Meow," or whatever, and we'd walk through like department stores with them, and that stuff is the best. And I taught my kids to meow lyrics 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't need to know the words to the Beastie Boys. You can just like meow. And they thought that was the silliest thing. And that, I don't know. That's the fun shit, right? That's the stuff that matters as a parent.
That's the stuff that sticks. Those are the memories that stick. It's not I'm trying to tell my daughter, it's like she's got fucking, like we're doing great jobs as parents. My daughter has 6 necklaces, you know what I mean? Like all this shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I told her, I go, I got her some like little ring or something. I said, listen, don't become so attached to these. Yeah. I want you to tell you now because I know I was like, the thing my dad gave me and he's dead. Like, man, fuck that. Like remember the memories. It's not about this ring.
It's true.
If it ever falls in the ocean, fuck it. It fell in the motherfucking ocean.
It's true.
Laugh about it. Like, oh, there it goes.
But I think you and I were so attached to material goods as a kid because it was like, when's the next one gonna come? Like my kids.
I'm like, we might not get another one of these. Hold on tight to this, man.
The other day, my kids were like,
Nerf had dog bites out of it. It's still wobbling in the air. Like we don't know if we're getting another.
Yeah, or God forbid your Slinky. Remember, I mean, the purpose of the Slinky is to buy another Slinky.
Yeah.
Because those metal motherfuckers get twisted within seconds. Yeah. The kid play that is done. So I remember my parents being like, "Oh, we're not going to buy it. This no more Slinky. This is the end of Slinky." And just like, what? So I try to preserve the Slinky.
Yeah. And then they made plastic ones after that.
Still
like, man, that's some bullshit. We're like, we want 2 of them. We want to race. My dad cut it in half.
He did not.
Cut it in half because they're too slinky.
He could not just buy you another
Slinky.
Slinky.
It is. He wasn't going to do it. You know what I mean? Like Amazon shit's here in 2 days. If you wanted a Slinky, you had to go drive to the motherfucking store to get the Slinky.
Yes, that's
and
why.
Most parents just didn't want to get up and go do that.
Of course. That's why I told my kids, they go, well, why didn't your daddy buy you another Slinky? And I said, well, back then you had to actually do something to get it.
Go get the motherfucking Slinky.
The Slinky store. And who the fuck wants to go to the fucking Slinky store? So, telling them stories about.
So you grew up here in the Valley and you're back right now in the summer. And you said you've sort of been going down memory lane a little bit. And I asked you if it was an intentional thing or if it's sort of like this calling or is it happening? Are you taking the kids? Are you doing some solo? Like what's going on?
Yeah. So we brought the kids out here just because the Texas heat is like super unbearable, So we were looking for places to get out for the summer. And I'm like, let's just go and stay in LA. Like, on the West Side, it's dope. It's beautiful. So, so now I'm revisiting these neighborhoods that are like, they're the same, but they're not. It's like when I drive through places in Austin, I don't have attachment to any of these locations. So I'm free emotionally, like I'm pretty on whatever skates, but because like every block in LA has a different memory for me because I grew up here. So like the other day, for instance, I went to the liquor store that my dad took me to like every freaking day of my like 9 through 11 years of life, and was actually the first place I found Mad Magazine and Cracked Mag. So I'm really grateful to this. It started my sense of humor. And like,
I agree.
Oh, this is dope. And we talked about Darby at the 7.
Fake Barbies. I know exactly those toys you're talking about. Like
shitty fucking not toy, like off-brand Barbies. Like Why couldn't they just have like the real Barbie? I mean, would Mattel not want their shit to be
now
sold?
you get that shit at the checkout at Ralph's and stuff, you know? It's
Darby.
too much.
So anyway,
Darby.
I got to go back to the liquor store that my dad would take me to and buy liquor. And I've never done that before.
In that store, you were always just a tag along, huh?
Yeah, as a kid.
This is your first adult purchase in that store?
Yeah, and I was
That's
buying like
interesting.
hard liquor for like, Tom and I to like some tequila or whatever for the whole summer. Like not just for today, just for the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it was very surreal. And like, it was closing a loop in some way. Like I'm back here, but I'm not the same. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm this adult with agency, but it still feels like I'm a little kid. It's like, I don't know. I'm closing all these emotional loops being home, I think, especially with my pop around my dad. Because this was his turf. Where I'm staying in LA was like where we spent a lot of time together.
Have you gone to that bar where you used to dance with sailors?
It doesn't exist anymore.
No. What's there now?
The Beef and Barrel. It was called the Beef and Barrel.
It doesn't even sound enticing.
And it was next to the Velvet Turtle. Do you remember the Velvet Turtle?
Mm-mm.
Well, maybe that was just an LA thing. It was like a highfalutin chain restaurant.
Oh, really?
The Velvet Turtle was where you took a bitch that you really liked.
Oh, yeah. It was like a prom date or something. Okay, all right.
Velvet Turtle. I mean, it was fancy. Yeah, the Beef and Barrel. We used to go every Friday, sometimes on a school night too.
On a school night. Can you imagine me taking my daughter out right now? I couldn't imagine kicking it at the bar with my kid right now on a school night.
We're just taking her to a bar.
Yeah, just taking her to a bar and just sit here and play on your tablet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't play on a tablet. I was just like dancing and meeting people and like running around. Did your dad take you to bars or your mom?
No, my dad wasn't a drinker like that at all. My dad was always working, you know.
Yeah, he had to support you guys.
And honestly, too, like if there was a beer in the fridge, it'd be there for a while. I'm the same way. I've had Coors Light in my fridge I'll drink them here and there. You know what I mean? I'm just not a huge drinker.
Yeah.
But it would be in the fridge forever.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
My dad used to have these beers. I don't know if you ever saw them where when the bottle was cold, it was a picture of a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you drank the bottle, you got to see her titties.
I don't know. Is that St. Pauli's girl? I don't know which one that is.
Where did you even find
He's
this
like,
porno?
I made my own labels.
He's in there for hours. Like,
I made these. When it's cold, her titties come out.
what pervert. Like, could you imagine that's his life's work? Like, I got to put the titties on the label.
Oh,
Yeah.
the stuff you see way too early.
Way too early. And like, that's another part. Like I'm having like flashbacks to that stuff because you just, you go on with your life. You don't think about it. Or like, the Rubik's Cube in our house that had naked chicks on every side. And you're just like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't have that one.
Yeah.
We just had the
Well,
colors.
I don't think he had much sympathy to the fact that I was a little girl.
You said that to me before, and I do agree with you. But also, even if you're a little boy, that's a lot. That's a lot early on, but especially a girl, it's a lot.
It's so overstimulating.
Way. You do not need you don't need to be meticulously looking at dicks and balls and trying to line them up properly. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, that's not the right color.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like there was a lot of Playboy magazine laying around in the bathroom.
Just laying around
just
in the
like,
bathroom.
Like I would take a dump and look through Playboy. When I was like 9 or 10.
Oh, shit.
And like I thought it was fun to find the bunny because one of his girlfriends were like, "Oh, you don't know there's a hidden bunny."
On the cover of every one.
Yeah,
of
like
them.
fucking Highlights magazine. Remember, like
the
find
Goofus and Gallon over here.
Goofus and Gallon. Do you know that's one of those things I said in my head wrong for years?
What?
Goofus and gallant. I would say it gallant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You only said that in your head, not out loud?
The first time in my life I've said it out loud.
Right now?
Right here. This is a HoneyDew exclusive.
Then how do you know that was wrong?
I don't know, because you just said gallant.
Wait, you're telling me all these years of your life you've never said it out?
I've never said it out loud.
What if I'm wrong?
But I feel like it is gallant.
gallant.
It's gallant. Goofus and gallant. Maybe he's French. They never spoke. We don't know.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, goofus and gallant. Gallant. Because isn't the word gallant? How is the word gallant spelled?
I think gallant is Gallant, and it means like, the opposite of goofus.
Goofus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asshole and not asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Douchebag and not douchebag.
Very, well-mannered person. Probably a good person.
That's what would touch your manners. Like goofus just, leaves his trash everywhere. Gallant picks it up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It's
right.
fucking
Gallant.
Stupid.
Like the Mitsubishi.
Yeah. Like
Gallant. The Mitsubishi Gallant.
Stupid. So I'm having like memories. Do you ever have those phases where, because I don't remember, there's huge chunks of my childhood I don't remember. And I was talking to Miss Pat about it a million years ago because I wanted to write jokes about it. And she goes, you just need to start thinking about it. Like just try to remember and then it'll come back to you. So a few years ago, that's what I started to do. And then I was able to write jokes about certain memories I've had. And then, but it's like an onion. Like I feel like recovering from childhood stuff is just, it's years. It's like, okay, well, first I can learn to feel something without being terrified of feeling something. Okay, and now I got to go like figure out how to have the tools to deal with everyday life. Okay, and then, okay, well, now I'm going to go back and deal with the past trauma. It's like, oh, God.
I got to learn how to swim. Okay, I can swim now. Now I got to learn how to swim in shit. Okay, let's dive into that shit. Right? Now I got to learn how to hold my breath and not swallow the shit. It just never ends. And the shit they just keep pouring it in, don't they?
I know.
It is crazy. It's crazy. I've done it. I did it one time.
Did what?
Not too long ago. When I went home, I did a tour of all the places I lived.
Ugh.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
And this was just Maryland, too. I just did. And then I came out here and did it out here, too, because I've lived in a bunch of places here, too. But Maryland, I did all of them from the city all the way to the county, back to the city, my grandmom's, like all these homes. And
Jesus.
they all look different. They all
look different, meaning they are different relative to each other, or look different to you now as an adult.
Yeah.
The second
one there.
Yeah.
The latter.
The later. The latter. The later. The later. The latter. So what do you mean they look different as a grown up now?
My dad, when we were kids, bought 2 years we had real Christmas trees. So we went out to this little farm and you dig up the roots and the burlap bag and then you put it in your stand and you just water it and keep it alive for a month. And then after you're done, you take it out and you plant it in the ground. That motherfucker's a pine tree. Well, he put 2 of them out there. This was a basement, main floor, and then 2 more stories. This was my favorite house before it all went downhill. And those trees are both taller than that fucking house now.
Wow.
It's been, 40 years. Like, it's crazy. And then this little shitty apartment we lived in. We lived in this one apartment, Christina, in this place called Westminster, like you have here, but we called it Westfincter.
Why do they always have to name these horrible places something regal?
Yeah.
The Collins Manor. And you're like, it's a shithole, guys.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks living
The Regent's a Regency in there. So like, get your fucking Regency out of here. But this hallway, I misspoke, but I didn't. This apartment was a hallway. So when you walked in, it was just this tiny little square. Okay. And then another square here this was the living room, this tiny little square, smaller than this room here. I would say this room, if you split it in half, was the living room and kitchen. And then it was a hallway that just had bedrooms cut off of it.
Can I tell you something?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Even you saying it is making me sad.
Just
like
a
I want to
hallway.
cry because I know what I know this. This is a shit that I grew up in.
We don't have heat. Or at least my mom's not paying for it. So you know what we have?
No.
Kerosene heaters.
No! Why do they always go cheap on heating and cooling?
Kerosene heaters. We're in fucking 6th grade. My brother's in like 3rd. We're in charge of pouring it into the thing.
Kerosene.
Kerosene. Okay, on a carpet floor in a tiny ass. We're in charge. One's holding it. I'm guiding it in or whatever. And then you got to pump it in there and you fill up the base. Then you fucking light it. And then we're boys. You know what we're doing?
Yeah.
My mother's in the back. We're standing over spitting on it, watching it sizzle and shit. Like, shut. Gum on it and stuff. Just touch it. I dare you to touch it.
Of course.
And then hold their hand on it. Like, motherfucker.
And let me guess, flamethrower.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
kerosene heaters we had.
I mean, how much more dangerous was it to get she could have burned the whole fucking complex down.
The whole
and
fucking
you
thing
guys,
down.
rather than just pay the heating bill.
Yeah.
My dad would do the same thing with cooling. What is it with dads and air conditioning? It's like they feel like it's like this crime to pay for AC. My dad got a fucking swamp cooler. Have I talked about this?
No, I don't know, but I know what one is. They're massive. I didn't know one was till I moved to California. They're like, that's a swamp cooler. I'm like, a what?
So it basically, I guess there's cold water and then it blows the air from the water. So basically what happens is your carpeting will get a nice damp layer of liquid. So you wake up at 6 a.m. and you're like, everything's wet and damp and moldy. And you're like, we could just pay for the AC.
Pay for the fucking AC.
You're ruining the carpet. You're ruining the house from decay.
You just gave me a whole flashback of something I forgot about. For many people, getting financially healthy means dropping the weight of credit card debt. But where do you start when it feels like a never-ending cycle? Upstart can help you pay off your existing debt quickly and easily with a personal loan so you can start living your life. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Upstart knows you're more than just your credit score, so rather than looking at your credit score alone, Upstart's model considers other factors like your income, employment, and other information provided in your loan application to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in just 5 minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000. You can even receive funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/honeydew. That's upstart.com/honeydew. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/honeydew. For all of your summer travels, whether you're going abroad or staying domestic and want to immerse yourself in the culture, now is the perfect time to start Babbel. Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babbel's easy bite-sized language lessons, there's still time to learn a new language before you reach your destination. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having real-life conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and your accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, video stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/honeydew. That's BABBEL.com/honeydew for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Now, let's get back to the do. We got AC after my dad made the mistake of getting something called an attic fan. Have you ever had an attic fan?
It sounds just as stupid as a swamp cooler.
I had never heard of it until then, and I've never heard of it again. Like, I'm like, who hustled you into this thing? So my dad, like, when my mom and dad split, my mom wouldn't put, fans on or anything. So we hung a thermometer in the house, and it would get it'd get 102, 105 in the fucking house, okay? So my dad's like, we didn't. We had just box fans like right here, just and there was always a piece missing, so it's like
I hate box fan. To me is
I still have one in my apartment now. I fucking got it at CVS, $20.
Box fan means you're poor. Like when Tommy he loves them. He just
hold on to
get them out of here. It reminds me of the worst times of my life. A fucking box fan. Yeah. God. God.
So they get this fucking attic fan, Christina, and I'm like, what is this? As I'm like, what is this? So it's a one opening in the ceiling. One, okay, like a centrally located opening that has slats, and you flip the switch on, and there's like a fan up there, a massive power fan that's supposed to suck out all the hot air because hot air rises.
Sure.
Well, our shit went from like 101 to like 99. You know what I mean? Like that was fucking it. Like all that money you shouldn't have. My dad gave up. I was like, I'm just getting such wear.
Right. Because in theory, that sounds lovely, but it's never. Look, there's a reason AC is put in every fucking normal person's house.
Works. Yeah.
It's a first world thing, guys.
You're paying the extra. You're not paying the extra money. You're paying the extra when you try to shortcut it.
And can I tell you that my husband taught me that lesson because I think immigrants. I'm just making sure my kids are okay. Fine. There's always immigrants always shortcut. It's never just like, tires on my car need to be replaced. Okay, so go to this guy. I know this guy. He's good. He's not going to fuck you over. He gives you this. It's a used tire, but it's still,
right. Yeah,
it's always something.
4 different tires.
So like my husband's like, just pay the money, get it done right. Like that's the American way in my mind of doing things. So my father, one time, some creature died in our attic here in the valley. And it was a summertime.
Oh, no.
Hot as shit.
Oh.
August, maybe a raccoon or a possum. And we start to smell it, and there's flies and everything. And in the bathroom, they have like a square cut out, and then you can push it up and go in there. I go, well, call animal services or call somebody to come get rid of this creature. And he goes, no, you don't need to fucking pay for that. He takes a glue gun.
I already like the glue gun.
Glues the square shut.
No. He didn't even go get the animal out?
Why would he do that? Yeah, no. And just sealed it shut. And like eventually the smell and the flies went away. But I mean like a month later.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine?
No.
Could you even, like, how much could it have cost him, really, to get, I don't know. I don't even know who you call, but there's somebody that's going to.
Animal control, yeah. You got a dead fucking animal in your house.
But wouldn't you pay? I would pay thousands of dollars to have that thing removed.
Yeah.
$1,000.
If you're going to do that, call me. And y'all need that much, call me. I'll come get that.
A rotting animal in your house.
Yeah, I'll kill it for you and take it out.
A rotting animal. Now looking back as an adult, you're like, yeah, I would have paid. How much could, maybe $300, really.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
And back then it was probably not even that.
$100.
Yeah, there's a guy coming out for $100.
But
you probably want to eat it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Sure. But it's wild where you think about these shortcuts. You're like, we weren't that destitute. We weren't destitute.
I tried and these days, it was all, you're right. It was always the shortcut back then. Like, how can I save $1? This fell off a truck. You know what I mean? This is gently used, that kind of shit. Shortcut. These days, I already know for me, it is the only way for me is it's the long road.
Yeah.
Always was.
Always.
And it's always the better way anyway. I'm fine with it. I know my lot in life. But the thing I do look for these days is no shortcut, but a loophole.
Oh, a loophole.
Yeah, I'm looking for the loopholes.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, I'll take the long road, but if somebody's like, hey, real quick, I'm like, give me a thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm taking it.
Because
what's the loophole?
Yeah, that's what like white American, whatever. That's how I picture it in my head. That's what they do. It's not, you don't break the law. You find the loophole in it. And that's how these fuckers do everything.
Everything.
That's what I learned.
Yeah. And everyone has that's what I keep telling like all these guys, like, get your money right. This shit, the S corps and all exist because rich people figured out how to fucking get tax breaks and shit. We can do that too.
Yeah, loophole.
Yeah, just do it.
Well, everybody utilizes them. When you think of even like the Orthodox Jews, they have their Sabbath, but then they'll rig the lights to turn on themselves or something like that, right? Like everyone does it.
A funny story. You'll appreciate this. Yeah. When I first moved out here, one of my early jobs, I was like a concierge and front desk at Beverly Prescott. It was called. It's the Lowe's Motel now. It was at the corner of Pico and Beverwill.
Oh.
It was the little road that went from Wilshire to Pico, but it was still Beverly Hills, okay? And that neighborhood right there is very Orthodox Jew. So their Sabbath is sundown Friday to Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday's the day.
And they're not allowed to use electricity. I don't know any of this. I'm learning all of this being in this neighborhood. I'm just this fucking idiot from Baltimore. I have no idea about Orthodox anything. Well, our front fucking door to the hotel was a push, and then electric will catch it and carry it. This poor motherfucker pushed that door open, and when he went to go, it went. He was like, "Is this electric?" We're like, "Ah, yeah." Like, he was like, "Oh," he went crazy, right? So I calm him down. I'm like, look, man, it is fucked up. He's like, I go, but do you need help in your, because it's him, his wife, and his 2 kids. I'm like, do you need help with your lights and everything? He's like, yeah. So I go up and he's like, just give us a minute. So I go in, because I'm thinking they'll light candles, something.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm only looking at the fucking light out in the hallway, which also there's electricity right on the other side of this door that I can see. You know what I mean? So I go up and I turn all their lights, but he makes me work my way, in to out. I can't see shit. I trip over their fucking luggage. Listen, I ate it fucking hard. I go downstairs and the next day this motherfucker gave me $20 tip. He did. He felt terrible. He felt terrible.
Well, that's good. At least he tipped.
But all of it is, like you say, it's with a little fucking wink and a nod. Like, yeah, you don't have to, but.
Yeah.
All right, so what's going on with the trip?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening to you as you...
It's kind of wild, dude. Like I said, so I've been in, therapy for 12 years now. And it's like, you just, like I said, it's like process. And then I think I'm coming to grips with that. You're just never, you're just always going to struggle, or not struggle, but you're always going to have whatever it is that you're dealing with. It's always going to be there. So I'm having, I think I'm having memories come up now that I haven't remembered, or I don't know. Do you believe in repressed memories, like fully repressed, where your brain just...
Yeah. What I was going to say, when I went on that tour back home, I pulled up out in front of my friend's house, and his dad's the one that went with my dad to the concert. His mom was my mom growing up. His little sister was like our little sister, and she died in a car crash. And we spent every fucking day there after 16 with no parents. Like, we're over there swimming, hanging out. Like, we were their kids. And I pull up out in front of there, and it's long gone. They've moved and everything else. And I fucking lost it. Oh, I lost it. I couldn't believe. Like, I was embarrassed. Like, get yourself together. Like, it went for a while, and I was like, shut up. But it kept going.
Wow.
And I was like, man, I didn't know I had this even fucking in me. And I started remembering everything from the smells, and you know what I mean? Just like, whoa, and you're seeing this image, and it happened right there. And yeah. Dang. I believe there's more to come too. Like, I don't think all my memories are, I don't know if unrepressed is a word, but I think some of them are just down there kicking it, waiting for their call up.
But then I heard something where someone was like, yeah, your memories aren't even really real over time. Every time you remember something, it changes slightly. And especially with age, it's like, I mean, what is expectable? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is within rights, within reason to remember from your childhood? And then what is you fabricating? And what is, I don't know. But then I do know that your body reacts. You have that somatic memory. I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack, or where it's your body's reaction to something. It's so uncontrollable. So I believe in that, obviously, because that's tangible. But it's kind of a mind fuck, because you're like, the other day I had a panic attack, and like, I don't have them frequently. I haven't had one in, I don't know, ages. So I was like, whoa, what was that?
Where were you?
I was sleeping. And I've never had this where I out of a dead sleep. And I was.
Were you having a nightmare into it, or no?
Don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember.
So that's how maybe freaked out I was from the dream I had, that it had traumatized me so much or something.
So that's what I was asking you. Since you're in a different place now, you think that place had something to do with that memory?
Yeah, there's something happened earlier.
You don't get that in Austin?
No.
Because you don't have any attachments. You sleep peacefully down there? Do you really?
Yeah, I have recurring dreams now. I have recurring dreams that it's the same one over and over, that I'm 20 years old. I don't have my husband. I don't have my kids. I don't have my career. And I have to figure out what to do with my life. It's being 20 again and not having what I have, not having my life, and panicking, like being helpless again. That's it. That's the recurring dream. Do you have one too?
I used to, and it's gone now.
Oh, that's good.
It used to be... and I know a lot of people have this one, but I would wake up, in my dream, I'd wake up like, oh my God, I forgot that one fucking class. I haven't been to that one motherfucking class, and I got to hustle to class on a campus that I'm no longer familiar with. And when I get there, it's English, but they're using protractors and shit. I'm like, how much did I fucking miss? And then I have this whole panic. And then the panic also of it then turns into having to move home to save money.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I can't do stand-up on a fucking Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that finally went away, though. But not long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, they come and they go for me or like, but with stand-up, do you ever have panic about stand-up? Like, I've dreamt that I don't have any material. Like, I dreamt that I had no material, but I was able to riff, and I, like, riffed through it. And I was like, oh, that's good. That means I'm competent in one thing. But yeah, I feel like my brain is in between worlds this week because I'm, like, trying to remember the past because obviously something is in there that's like, hey, we're ready. I'm ready. And I don't know what it is. And I'm actually in my waking pretty happy. I'm pretty chill. I'm very calm here. So I'm just kind of letting it happen. I think in the past, I would be more anxious about it. Like, I gotta, you know, and like getting keyed up. And then you just realize, like, it's okay. Just chill. Go through it.
Look, that's what I learned through that EMDR therapy is none of the shit that I am feeling is because of anything right now.
Yeah.
None of it. It's all not fake, but it's all imagined because of, what do I want to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Pre-programmed emotions and feelings to all this other bullshit we have. And because this feels familiar, I'm going to use these old feelings for this experience. And it's not the same fucking thing at all. And it's like, no. Like, I got scared of flying and I was like, but I quietly sit next to strangers and I say to myself, everything's fine. This is the shit I say. The plane's going exactly as fast as it's supposed to be going. There's not one fucking thing you can do but sit right the fuck here and let these people fly this motherfucker safely to where you're going. And then boom, we go.
So you didn't always have a fear of, what caused it?
It was Stella almost being hit by a car, and it just unhinged anxiety that had been waiting inside me forever. You know, I never understood what people meant when they were like, oh, I feel like having a heart attack and all that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then fear of heights came along with that, too. I still think that's a reasonable one. Like, I don't need to be on top of a fucking mountain looking over the edge, you know. And I think if you're not scared, something's goddamn wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I went to therapy, and I can say that and Drew recommended it. I can say it works because I fucking sleep on planes now. And I knew I had to get it fixed because all we do is fucking fly. There was no way I could do this job without flying at some point, and I had to go get it fixed, and it worked.
That's interesting because I've had high anxiety after the birth of my children. That's part of my postpartum fun, is getting hyper vigilant and anxious and OCD. So anxiety comes up when you're dealing, like you said, Stella almost getting hurt or harmed.
Hit by a car, yeah.
But it's interesting that you didn't choose, but the unconscious went to flying, which is central to what you need to do to earn a living. Like, it was like do you know what I mean? Like, of all the fucking things.
Also, the thing that I'm craving most in that situation is being able to control her safety. And I'm on a plane, zero fucking control. I can't walk up to a cockpit and be like, guys, move the fuck over. Let me just fly this goddamn thing. And I wanted to rest, but let me take care of it. So it's centrally located or factored in my living, and I can't do anything but sit there helplessly and eat some motherfucking peanuts and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You know what I think to myself whenever I start to get scared of flying? It's like, most likely the pilots don't want to die today.
Yeah.
I mean, unless something's wrong. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to die either. Yeah. No one wants to die today. So I'll rely on that, hopefully. Wow. The mind is fascinating, no? Like, it'll create stuff. When I was younger, I used to have when I was in a bad relationship, I would have stomach problems. Like, I would start obsessing about, oh my God, I ate something and I'm going to get diarrhea. And then I would get diarrhea. Isn't that wild that the mind controls?
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Fuck. Have you had that where you create like illnesses and stuff?
Yeah. I know when Stella's mom and I first split, I went through like physical hell, and all that stress and anxiety and worry and just letting my mind run loose about what's going to happen. And oh man, it almost fucking killed me. I was in and out of the hospital for 6 months. I clotted everywhere on both legs, found out I had a disease, ended up with kidney stones, all this shit back to back to back to back. And I know it was all stress and anxiety related.
Yeah.
And I was 42, which is the same time my dad was when he died. And I remember I know I had a clot, and they were like, you're fine. And I'm telling you, it's like an elephant's fucking trying to squish your chest. And I laid on my bed. It was a Sunday night. I was crying, and I gave myself up. I was like, this is it. I couldn't take the pain anymore. And I must have just fallen asleep or passed out from it. And I woke up and I was like, all right, you're still fucking here. Let's figure this shit out. And then I started my slow journey into health.
Damn.
I wrote out a 5-year plan for myself of physical health, of career, of all these things.
Good for you.
To make sure. And I've checked them all. I checked them. Buying a place is the next one.
That's what's up, homie.
That's the next one.
That's what's up. See, because here's the thing. I feel that you and I, or everybody maybe, you are not taught this in school. And if you don't have parents who are aware as well and who can model this for you, this is what successful parents teach their children. And I'm not even saying it's overt. It's just like, hey, this is how you function. Is that if you don't take charge of life takes charge of you. And you must be so deliberate with how you conduct your affairs, from your health, your mental, the physical. What am I going to eat today? How will I go about the world? What is my attitude going to be in relation to this? What am I going after 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I can tell you that I used to write myself letters when I was 28 years old, and I was like, all right, this is it, man. I got to be a winner. I can't be no fucking loser. Like, I'm going to write myself a letter every year, and I'm going to open it on New Year's Day. This is the shit I want to have happened by then. All the things, like you write 5 things, seal that letter up, put it away, and then I would open it on New Year's Day. Have I accomplished what I've wanted? And I would read every book about what I want. Every book in the world. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. The Magic of Believing is a fantastic book. Read every self-help book you can get your hands on that resonates with you and change your mind. Because unfortunately, when you grow up like we do in the HoneyDew lifestyle, it's not that our parents maliciously did anything. It's that they didn't do this. So we have to learn this through outside sources, through people that have already learned this stuff. So read the books. The books exist for a reason.
Yes.
Read everything. Watch the videos on YouTube. Or, you know who's great? I loved Wayne Dyer. I read a ton of that guy. I like Tony Robbins in small doses. I could tell, all these people.
TED Talks are a great thing. Pick what resonates with you. Yeah.
Go where, and also like I would read about what I was curious about, which meant that's what I needed. Like I remember I had a lot of stuff around money. Before I had money, it was always like, rich people are evil. And I don't know if do I deserve to ask for this and that? I don't know if I deserve. And explore that. Look at Louise Hay. She has a great talk about prosperity. It's on like iTunes or whatever. Like, I don't know. Look into all this shit, man, because it all needs to be corrected before you can succeed, I think.
And we were laughing because these people that say money doesn't bring happiness. Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, fuck does.
You've never been poor, motherfucker.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If you lived anywhere where you could get a $5 bill out of an ATM, you know what I'm talking about. Money will bring you motherfucking happiness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoever says
all your
that,
bullshit's still there, but it makes life easier. Yeah.
The fact that the power of money, the blessing of money is not having to think about money.
That's it.
Period.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck about stuff is great. I love stuff too. The best part is to not think about it.
Yeah.
Praise Allah. If I fall down the fucking stairs and I break my ankle, I don't have to go, I don't know if I should call the ambulance. That's going to be, $5,000.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I could get help right now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I'm going to crutch to the ER.
I still live in an apartment. You know what I mean? I still have tandem parking. Okay. I don't have central air. I don't have central heat. Okay. I don't have stainless steel appliances. I don't have any of that shit. I got an old ass apartment in Los Angeles, but I'm happy. I'm happy as shit. But let's see if we can't get a house next year. Goddamn it.
You will, but this is the process. You will.
It's on the list, but I knew where it would be on the list, so it's the last thing on the list.
Oh, okay. See,
is,
but
yeah.
you put it last.
Mm-hmm.
You put it there.
Yeah, health and everything else was
number
in
one.
order. And also, I went and did the right things: life insurance, living will and trust. Like I took money that I didn't have and invested it in my daughter, myself. You know what I mean? Like that to me is a good investment.
Yeah.
Instead of just going to fucking buy crypto and some Bitcoin and shit. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of YMH, Two Bears, Where My Mom's At, and a little bit of the HoneyDew, and it's been great. And one reason it's been great to listen is because I use my Raycon wireless earbuds to do it. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. With optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, these earbuds are so comfortable and they will not budge. Trust me, I'm all over the place in them. They don't move. Raycons give you 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. Raycons are priced just right. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. And it's no wonder Raycon's everyday earbuds now have over 50,000 five-star reviews. I love that I can use the earbud tap functions to control volume or skip to the next song. And noise isolation is great to block out all the sounds on the planes while I'm traveling on the Night Pants Nation tour. Go to buyraycon.com/honeydew today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/honeydew to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com/honeydew. Athletic Greens is the health and wellness company that makes comprehensive daily nutrition really simple. With so many stressors in life, it's difficult to maintain effective nutritional habits and give our bodies the nutrients it needs to thrive. All right, I start my day off every day with Athletic Greens. Okay, when it comes to parenting, touring, working, my schedule is all over the place. A lot of times I don't get to eat so well. Athletic Greens is a huge help. And as the research changes, so does AG1. While most nutritional products that come to market never evolve, Athletic Greens continues to obsessively improve AG1 based on the latest research, producing 53 improvements over the last decade and counting. They invest in high quality and reputable sources of each ingredient, and they go above and beyond in third-party testing to ensure their customers continue to receive the highest quality and best daily nutritional habits on the planet. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, and contains less than 1 gram of added sugar, no GMOs, no tasty chemicals, or artificial anything while keeping it tasting good. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you an immune-supporting free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase if you visit athleticgreens.com/honeydew today. Again, simply visit athleticgreens.com/honeydew to take control of your health and give AG1 a try. Now, let's get back to the dew.
Well, you know, it's funny. I just did an interview the other day about my special mom jeans, and he goes, I heard that you spent a crazy amount of money on your outfit, that you made Netflix buy it. And then I heard that you spent a crazy amount on the music, on the licensing. And I go, yeah, I don't see it as spending money. I see it as reinvesting. I love stand-up comedy more than anything else.
Same.
It's my pride and joy.
That's it.
And if I have the resources, if Netflix gives me X amount of money and they're going to pay me X amount for the special, I just took it out of that money and put it back. So reinvesting in your stuff, to me, that was more important than like, great, here's another, whatever amount that is so I can go buy another fucking bracelet. I don't give a shit. I'd rather make something amazing and reinvest and reinvest and reinvest.
The outfit was bomb.
It was fire, dog.
Hair was good. All
so much.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling
crazy.
you, look, you're straight up looking mob wife these days.
Trying, bro.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But I hear you. I've been saying lately too, if I could give any advice to my younger self or any younger person, fuck comedian, like scared money doesn't win. I wish I would have took some money I had back then that I paid a credit card with or whatever and put that into myself. That's where I would put money first, is invest in yourself. You are a commodity. You are your own business. You are everything. So I agree wholeheartedly in taking the money, because it's you can look at it like, all right, I'm not getting a step up. All right, well, you're taking one back to take 2 forward.
That's
or
right.
4 or 5 forward, depending on how you invest that in yourself,
That's right. Short-term gain versus the long game. I'm always playing the long game.
It's always the long
And can
game.
I tell you, so this is interesting. So I remember how I was saying that you end up teaching this stuff to your children unconsciously. So my son Ellis and I were playing like a Tetris type of game where you line up the blocks. And he's just scoring 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. And I go, no, watch this. And I make the blocks and I stack them so that you make one big score.
Boom.
And he goes, oh, you want bigger score. I go, there you go, kid. See? So it's like, you just want the 10 points, or you want to go for the fucking the money, bro. That's going to be a longer game. And it's riskier. Definitely. You get fucked before you even hit that
And it
score.
takes longer, and
Takes patience.
that's it.
Yeah, dog. We
So
figured it out.
what? Where else are you going to go on this tour of Christina's childhood?
Yeah.
You've been to a liquor store. Have you gone by any places you lived?
You know what? Now that you say that, I think I'm going to do that because I think that's what I have to do next. I think that's what I have
went
to
to
do.
all of
And you
them.
went alone?
Yeah. Cried alone in front of Christina. I was like, then I'd leave. Some of them I didn't like, some of them I did. Most of them I didn't because I was there because everybody died. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily the place. It was the reason I was in the place that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hated living with my grandmom, but I mean it because of this. My grandmother's house, and I imagine this is for a lot of people, was this special place that smelled a certain way with the sauce and everything. And then when everyone died and we had to go live with her, it lost that sense of magic, so to speak. You know what I mean? It just became, I'm in here every day now. And we're very much like your dead animal up in the ceiling. I no longer could smell that spaghetti sauce, even though it was sitting right on the fucking stove and everything. And that smell of her place just became, and every day I don't smell anything anymore, got used to it. And I hated that I got used to living at my grandmom's house. I hated that.
The magic was gone.
Yeah.
Because it was every day. And it was also out of necessity that you were there.
Yeah.
It wasn't choice.
Yeah, no.
That's a different thing.
True.
Oh, how heartbreaking. At least, she was nice to you?
Oh, she was, even my mother who wasn't, was like, you had a great grandma. I'm like, thank God.
Well, how did your mom end
Thank
up
God.
how did your mom end up so mean?
Because that's not her mom.
Oh,
Yeah, it's my dad's mom.
yeah.
So what was your
Wild.
favorite house growing up? None? There's got to be one that's the least worst on the list.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's a good one. Okay, we lived on, again, across the street from another liquor store. This was with my mom and my stepdad, a townhome off of Ventura Boulevard. And it was a townhome. And I thought we'd made it because it was in Encino. And I was
It's the
like,
Beverly Hills of the Valley,
it
girl.
sure
It
is. And I thought, well, I'm in the big time. Anyway, it was great because I liked the location. I was close to Ventura Boulevard, and I could buy cigarettes at the liquor store when I was 13 if I wore my bikini top.
Nah. I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
13 looks
Yes.
like 8 years old. You know what I mean? You're in a bikini top.
But not with these big old hangers, because I had big old titties when I was 13.
Oh, you did?
I had huge tits already.
I dated that girl in high school. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, my dad stopped playing with me in the pool. I go, yeah, no shit. She stopped throwing me this summer. I'm like, yeah, probably hurt his back.
Yeah, so I had a pair of go-go boots that I bought on Melrose. I wore go-go boots, black shiny go-go boots, a skirt, and a bikini top. And my stepsister and I discovered that that's how I could buy us cigarettes. So it was a great time. My stepsister and I got into so much trouble. And we just smoked cloves. That's what I was buying. Cloves,
Yeah.
colored cigarettes, menthol cigarettes, and just getting into trouble in the valley. And I liked that house. Yeah, that was because it was freedom. I was a teen. And it gave me access to going to Hollywood. I could take the bus out of the valley and go get into trouble. So it was great. Yeah. How about you?
My favorite house was that one I was telling you about.
Grandma?
with,
No.
Well, so this is one where my dad put
With
the
the
Christmas
trees.
trees. Yeah. So that was in Carroll County in Eldersburg. And now that I look back at it, so my mom's mom lived with us for a little while. But now I realize because my mom was a housewife. My dad's driving an hour plus each way to, which is now Reagan, but National Airport back in the day, D.C. And she ends up having an affair because she was bored, so she gets a job at this little convenience store and ends up having an affair. And my mom's mom was living with us because there was no way in hell they were affording that nice-ass house. back then. And then it all fell apart by like 5th grade.
Ugh.
That's when we got stuck in the apartment with the hallway. Then my parents reconnected, thought they would try to work it out. That lasted like 10 seconds. And then after that, my mom bounced and we were with our dad.
Like, okay.
So my least favorite will be the one he died in.
Yeah. I would say.
That'll be my least favorite.
Yeah. I will say that whenever I hear these stories about mothers with multiple kids and they're like, yeah, she was bored and then she had an affair. Like, I get it. Raising kids is sometimes very boring and tedious and monotonous. But how does these bitches have time to have affairs? Like, how do these? I don't even have time to watch Stranger Things. I've been dying to watch episode 3. I'm dying to get into it. I don't have the energy, the stamina. Is that how you stamina? See, I say it wrong because of your mom's house. And like, how do these bitches even have time?
Well, I can answer that.
Yeah, please.
They didn't take care of their kids.
Oh.
That's the one thing
That
you
would
forget.
explain it.
When you just abandon your kids, you got all kinds of time to put stuff in your pussy.
Time to put stuff in your pussy.
Kinds of time to
Yeah.
put stuff in your pussy.
Time to put stuff in your pussy. Like, I don't have any time to put stuff in my pussy.
You
Barely any time. Tom and I barely have time to put stuff in my pussy.
I'm
And
saying, man, I know.
who are these women, these men having affairs?
Like whole
what are you
side families and shit. Like I hear these stories. I'm like, how?
How?
How are you having a whole side family?
Yeah. Side family. That's
Family.
another thing.
Side families.
And why would you even want another family? More responsibility? It's insanity. Yeah, you're right. These people aren't doing their fucking jobs, dude. I don't know. I don't even have time for anything like this kind of scandal. But you realize like your mom did that to just blow up the family. Like she wanted out. So this is your way of, and that's why people do that shit. They're acting out. They want to blow it up to get out.
Yeah, if they want to not get caught, they wouldn't get caught either. That's the other thing.
I guess. I mean,
You can
but
be
doesn't
careful
everybody
enough.
get caught in the end?
Sooner or later, because they want out.
They want out.
You know, the guys and women who don't want out and are doing it, you don't even know they're cheating on you.
That's
Think about
terrifying.
it. Think about it like that.
No, I don't want to think about it like that.
You know,
That's terrifying.
They're like, yeah, I got this. Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? I just can't imagine. I don't know. That like it's so scary to me. Like to have a family with someone and you finally trust them and then they just like destroy you.
I mean, I think it's a big part of the reason why I'm still not married or anything. I watched all that. I'm like, I think I'm good.
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah. Watching like, man, you don't want dad. You don't want me. Like, I think I'm good over here. God damn.
Because like I've seen on both ends, men just get destroyed by divorce, and women get destroyed. It just destroys you. I think it is like it's worse than death because that person's still here and is rejecting you or whatever.
Well, most people who get divorces still love their kids.
Of course,
You know? Most of them fight over who's going to get them. Not you take these
take 'em.
motherfuckers.
No,
you
you
take.
take
It's a little different. You know, there's different classification of divorce. There's the non-messy divorce that these fucking people to still vacation together. That's
Correct.
all white people, by the way.
That's white people
It's
shit.
definitely white people shit.
Yeah. I
Just
don't know.
vacationing with each other. Like,
I just
huh?
remember my mom was so crazy that, okay, I think what happened, because she had custody of me, so I was with her during the weekdays and my dad on the weekends. I think what happened was, like, she would get annoyed with me and then frustrated that my dad had all this freedom to go party and whatever, and then kick me out to go live with him. Like, here, you raise this kid for a while. And then she wouldn't talk to me for like 2 months, and I'd call like, I'm sorry, whatever I did, Mom, I love you. And she wouldn't take my phone calls.
No.
Yeah. She would like punish me for like 1 month, 2 months, and then I'd go back and live with it. It was so traumatic. But like, what? Yeah, your wires have to be so crossed as a mother to not want your children. It's just the drive to my children. I mean, you see me even during this podcast. I'm like, what's going on? Where are they? I love them. I love you. I got to go. You know, it's like constant. I can't. So think how sick our mothers are. Yours is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's dead. Thank God. It's so much better when they die. You're going to be so relieved. It's
I don't
so
know about
good.
that.
It's so good.
I don't know about that. She's gonna watch this and be like,
Oh,
"Hey,
sorry.
love Christina." Sorry. She's your husband's favorite. Your husband's her favorite comedian.
Oh, good.
I told him when I was on Two Bears with him though that I think I might have bucked the trend and I might be his mom's favorite now. How about that? How about if I'm Charo's favorite? He goes, "I'm definitely not my mom's favorite." I was like, I might have got it. I might have switched it up. Yeah,
definitely.
all right, so I want to ask you this before we get out of here.
Sure, mommy.
As a mom, not just a mommy, but as a mom, like, do you coddle? Do you overcorrect? Do you find yourself doing things? Because I know I do. And I know as a parent better than anyone what coddling can do, be detrimental.
Yeah.
Because at any moment, all this goes away. So I'm doing this thing with my daughter now called Big Girl Summer. And we're doing all kinds of shit we weren't doing before.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and she likes it. She's into it. So I'm trying new things. You know, it's all help yourself.
Yes.
Clean your own plates. Set the table. I'm not cutting the tops off of berries anymore. You eat that shit up to the thing and throw it away. I'm not peeling bananas. Okay? I'm done. It's your turn.
It's your turn. Yeah, okay, this is really interesting you bring this up. Yes, so I've created a drawer in the house that this is help yourself summer. Again, here's cups, here's water, here's the plates, here's the snacks. Go fuck your mother. Enough. I don't want to get anybody I stopped getting
Just
water.
ask for permission and then go help yourself.
Yeah. I'm not getting into any more water, no more. And I think I overcorrect emotionally. I don't know what the correct emotional response is, so I'll ask my shrink like, "Hey, this happened. Should I have said this?" Or I try to learn that stuff because I don't know all the time. But I'm actually I train my kids to be like warriors too. That's why I love that these little fucking snowflakes right now, these little pussies that need their fucking safe spaces and the trigger warnings and your fucking food allergies. Well, guess what? I'm raising my kids to be warriors, savages, and they're going to eat your fucking snowflake.
I watched
kids.
your special. I fucking peanuts are like the new Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And do you know that was created? Peanut
Of course it
allergies
was.
were created because we didn't give children peanuts to build
The
tolerance.
doctor
We took
told
them
me
away.
same thing. Seafood allergies. A lot of people, if they just would have let them eat it, they'd have been built up a tolerance and they'd be fine.
Because that's life. You take the poison. That's why when you say, I'm going to go look at all the childhood places, do you know that most people wouldn't do that?
Of course not. That's
Terrifying.
the poison. That's the worst parts of my fucking time. Yeah.
But you must go through it to get stronger and better and fitter and better and
You got
better.
to sit in your own shit for a while.
Yeah.
You can't just get up. You got to fucking look around, smell it, all of it. And then I don't ever want to be here again.
And then,
I went and sat in front of that house. I haven't had the balls.
Yeah.
I daydream about this one. Knocking on those doors and asking if I could go in and
I was gonna
check
ask
out
that.
the house. But I don't think I'm ready for you. I also don't want to walk into a stranger's house and be like, just this is where I gave her CPR and she died right here at the top of your steps. This is the bedroom we found my dad dead in right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Could you imagine ruining these people's lives with
they're
that
home. They're
information?
gonna move. Like, wait, what?
This is where we made love for the first time. Yeah. We had our first child in this house.
This is where they were doing CPR on her down here. Oh, God. Yep.
Wow.
I really don't think I'm ready for that. I could go into one I didn't give a fuck about. But here's the other crazy part is a guy that I went to high school with. We were friendly. I wasn't really friends with him, probably because he moved into our house. But he moved into our old house. And I believe his parents are still there. And he's reached out and said, "Yo, my parents are still there if you ever want to go through." And that was my favorite one. That's the one that before all the shit went to hell.
Go there.
That's the good one. I should probably go. I should take Stella there.
Yeah.
I should do that.
That's interesting.
I'm going to reach out.
Yeah, I took I did take a tour of my my apartment life when I was this is a few years ago, and that was pretty cool because that was actually nicer than I thought it would be because I was like this place was freedom for me as a 4 to 11-year-old with my mother. This place was freedom, and I could just run through these different courtyards. There was Israeli people, Persians, fucking Armenians, gay people, everybody, teenagers, and I got to know what the world was like in this small community. And I had very good times there, actually. But other places, we'll see. I have to take Tom with me, I think, to visit some places because I want support because I will fall apart.
I'm gonna cry no matter what one I'm in. There's no way I won't. My grandmother's and the one my dad. I think my grandma's will be the worst. Actually, the one my dad died in will be bad, but the one my grandma, because that was grandma's house. Like that was where all the holidays were. You know, more, I would say, core memories in that home than any other home.
Crazy, dude.
Oh, I can't imagine just sobbing in front of these people. Hey, we're big fans of the podcast. Right here, guys. Can you just take a picture?
Could you imagine?
Lay down over there like you're dying on your back,
Could you imagine, like, remember when 60 Minutes used to profile celebrities and then they go back to their house? I mean.
Yeah, walking out front.
We're like, no thanks.
Yeah, just don't shoot them. Don't show it.
We don't need to go back there, do we? It's terrible.
I love you, Christina.
I love you too. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming on and doing this. I hope the journey goes well, not just the local one, but your life.
Yeah,
it's going great, though. I
think we're on a good path. Listen, considering what you and I grew up with and what we made it into, I'd say that that's the success. You know?
Yep. We won.
We won because there's only two ways, right? Up or down. And it's so much easier to go down.
Down's coming. You know, at the end of all this, down's coming.
Well, down comes for everybody.
For everybody.
You may as well try.
Carlotta Wood, my great friend who also does the voice of the show, said to me on here one time a quote that she had learned, and it's, I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through.
Ooh.
And I'm like, fuck yeah. I look way better than this shit. I mean, I don't think I look great.
You do.
I'm just saying I don't love myself like that, but I look way better than the shit I've been through. I know that much. I'll take that any day.
You know when people are like, I don't feel 46. I feel 20. I'm like, no, I feel every day at 46.
I don't. Do you really?
Yeah.
You're still doing all that dumb shit.
Emotionally.
Fair enough. But also, we're much more mature and I feel enlightened than our parents in that generation were at this age. And also at 46 back then, they looked like they were in their 60s. They dressed, you know what I mean? Like,
I know. I just talked about this on Where My Mom's At.
Like,
we Googled pictures of women in their 40s. In like the 1960s and 70s. And yeah, you look like you're half dead. You're dead. That truly was middle age. Like done.
We got a long way to go.
That's what's up, homie.
I love you.
I love you too.
Promote everything again, please.
ChristinaPOnline.com for tour tickets. Check me out. I'm coming to select cities. I don't go everywhere because I got them kids. But check, Where My Mom's At, your mom's house, all that shit. I love you.
I love you. I just did Where My Mom's At. I don't know when it's coming out. I wonder which one's going to come first. We'll see.
I don't know.
Thank you for having me on always.
You're the best.
I love you.
I love you.
As always, RyanSickler.com on all social media. Wait, that's not even right. I said it wrong. RyanSickler.com. Ryan Sickler on all social media. Thank you for your support. We'll talk to y'all next week.